Heisley, this is Adela.
Slay. And this is Jesse.
And this is our little DC motor presentation. I hope you enjoy it because we put a lot of work into it. Yeah. So, basically, this is like our, this just has all of our materials. So we have the magnet, which is what's getting the wire to spin. You know, we have our copper coil, the DC power supply, which is also what's making it spin, the stick that it's rotating on. Next slide. And then the alligator clips, which are connecting it to the DC power motor or supply, and then like the metal wire that's holding up the stick.
These little videos here, real quick. You can see our motor was spinning continuously. Definitely exceeding level motor.
That's spinning continuously.
You know, it's definitely spinning. And then we have our initial design. It's definitely a design. And then so this is our final design, our final motor diagram. So like
okay. So essentially here we see the current here is red, and the current is going through the wire, like from the alligator clips around the coil and then to the other alligator clip. Then there's the force, which is going up from the magnet to the coil, and then there's the magnetic field, which is going down and like around, you know, in a 3D way, around as the coil spins.
Truth. And like basically this definitely shows a working motor. You know why? Because you see that the magnetic field, it's like going down, and that's going against the force, which is going up. And that's crazy because like that's crazy. Like it you have two opposing forces going against each other, which will cause the motor to spin continuously, might I add, continuously. That's an exceeding level motor. Yes, and also the whole reason the magnetic field is on, just so we are clear, like obviously it's connected to our power supply, and the way that we had the wire connected to our metal stick, instead of like coiling it around, we had it in like one wire. So then like part of the like way it spins continuously is that when it spins, like it's not always, the wire is not always going to be touching the other wire, so then briefly the magnetic field will turn off, which will cause it to like spin. Because if it were on the whole time, it would just like stay in one spot. Like it would spin once but stay there. But because the wire wouldn't be touching all the time, it'll stop but then fall back down, but then it'll push back up again because of the force, the magnetic force. That's physics.
Big brain.
And then next slide. Basically, first we have like our little variables. So like our initial equation, this F equals current times length times sine of 90 times the magnetic field. That's like that's the force, or the equation for like not just the force, but how like the force is affected within our motor, like the two forces against each other, right? And for that, we need to define our magnetic field, obviously, our current, and our length. And then, yeah.
So we found out, you know, that our DC power supply was 12 volts. So the current would be 2 amps. And then we estimated the length of our wire. We said 15 feet, which is going to be 4.57 meters. Then we calculated the magnetic field, and we got 0.31 Teslas. And then after we plugged all of these variables into our equation, we got 2.53 newtons, which is going to represent our force between the magnet and the electric field. Yeah.
Obviously, we got an exceeding level work, exceeding level maths, exceeding level diagrams, art, visuals. If I do say so myself, methinks exceeding. Thank you for watching.